So if you're like me, you might have bought a Honda Shadow as your first motorcycle. And if you're also like me, you also looked up all kinds of modifications you can do to your Honda Shadow. And if you're also like me for the third time, you found out how easy it is to turn these things into a bobber. Especially the 600s. Holy crap. You guys seen those things? Beautiful machines. And I was so inspired by those pictures that just over a year ago I decided to cut up my 2008 Honda Shadow Aero 750. And if I must say, I think it looks pretty sweet, especially with the freaking choppered front end, 8-inch over forks, additional 14 degrees of rake. Wow! I think it looks pretty cool. And it seems that I may have even inspired some of you guys, because I'll get a comment or somebody will message me and say, hey man, that's a cool bobber. I want to do that to my bike. I want to do that to my Honda Shadow. I want to do that to my, Yamaha, Kawasaki, whatever. I was like, cool, man, that's awesome. The bike's going to look sweet. And then I try to talk him out of it. Because you know what? As cool as this thing looks, my opinion, it's cool. I mean, some people don't like it. That's fine with me. I don't give a crap. It's my bike. Because after living with a bobbed out motorcycle for just over a year, it kind of sucks, if I'm being honest. And I know what you're thinking. You're going to talk them out of doing something cool to their bike. It's their bike. If they want to do it, that's fine. And of course, 100%. You modify your bike the way you want to. But you know what? Maybe there's some things you probably didn't think about. Because there's some things I didn't think about. And I get it. You get your first bike, you're all excited. Or you get a new motorcycle, you're all excited to do stuff to it. You're hopping up and down. You're all like, oh man, look at all these parts. I got to get this and this and this and this and this and this and this. And I know that's how you react because that's what I did. I did the exact same thing. But I know you're excited. The best thing to do is take a breath. Take a breath and think about what you want to use the bike for. What's your plan? What do you see yourself doing on the machine? Do you see yourself cruising all the way across the country? The United States is kind of big, man. It's 3,000 miles all the way across. That's a different number in kilometers. Sitting on like a Springer style seat's gonna suck. I mean, I even bought a good one. I bought one from Blue Collar Bobbers. I mean, it's a really nice seat, nice handmade leather, everything. I get about 2 hours on this bike and I'm done. Just for long distance stuff, it's not comfortable. You could probably, depending on what bike you have, you could probably set it up to be so. But even then, it still wouldn't be ideal for longer trips and whatnot. I mean, where are you gonna put your stuff? Extra tools? Freaking clothing, luggage, all that good stuff. I mean, you gotta at least bring a change of underwear, right? And if you cut the back off, there's no room for saddlebags. I'm having to run a little tool bag up front, and then I'm having to run a freaking magnetic tank bag. You might be able to rig up a swing arm bag or something, but it's not gonna be any bigger than this, most likely. I mean, and you could run a backpack, but I don't like running backpacks. I don't. I mean, you guys might. It's up to you. Because honestly, if there's a bunch of weight on my back, it feels like somebody's pulling me off the back of the bike. Especially in the wind, I'm like, I'm going to fly off the back. And again, I'm not trying to like discourage anybody from, if you want a freaking awesome bobber chopper, go do it. I just think that if you're going to, you need to really make sure it's what you want to do. And of course, I can only speak of my experience. I mean, there's guys freaking 70 styles choppers. Heck yeah, freaking front end 10 feet in the air. Big old sissy bar leaned back like they're in a recliner cruising cross country. I'm not saying you can't do it. You just need to make sure that that's really, really what you want to do. Because once you kind of cut the frame, at least on the 750s, there's not really much going back. I mean, you might be able to weld it back on there, but I don't know if it's ever going to be the same. Once you kind of get to the point I have, though, you're kind of stuck with it. And I'll be flat out honest with you. If I was going to bob this motorcycle out again, I probably wouldn't. The only reason I did is because it's not my only motorcycle. If you only have one motorcycle, like that's it. That's all you can have for whatever reason, room, financials, whatever. If you only have one motorcycle, especially if it's your first motorcycle, I wouldn't cut it at all. Nope, leave it stock. Stock is stock. Especially if it's your first one, stock. Because, it might be cool putting 12-inch apes on there, cutting the frame, chopper front end, and all the other cool stuff. Heck yeah. But if you ever want to sell it, most people don't keep their first motorcycles. And all you're doing when you put all this custom stuff on there, you're not increasing the value. If anything else, all you're doing is limiting, who would want to buy it. The same thing with cars. You put a decent set of wheels, you put $2,000 wheels on like the Dodge Charger, man, stuff. Oh, that's invested. It's not invested, it's still the same vehicle. It just has different wheels on it. And everybody's tastes are different anyway, so just because something you like doesn't mean everybody's going to like it. And you guys know me, I love the Honda Shadow. I think it's an amazing platform for just about almost anything you want to do. And like I've said before, I'm never going to get rid of mine. That's for two reasons. One is the channel. It's kind of Honda Shadow based. And two, everything I have into it. I can't. And it was my first bike. Not everybody keeps their first bike. You probably won't. Most people don't. And speaking from someone who's dailied a freaking bobber, if it's something you're thinking about doing, just make sure it's really what you want to do. Otherwise, you might end up like your buddy here, who's staring longingly at pictures back when this thing had the big fenders and the nice chrome apes and nice cushy Mustang seat. Quite honestly, that's the part I miss the most, is the Mustang seat. And I'm thinking you probably definitely don't want to chop up your only motorcycle, because you're going to kind of be limited on what you can do, depending on how you build it. Now, if you're looking for a second motorcycle, well, I mean, get to chop it, man. Don't get me wrong, I love choppers. I just kind of think maybe I should have gone about things just a little bit different. So, if I haven't talked you out of it yet, and you missed when I cut this bike up, you can check out this video right here. And as always, y'all be good. See ya!